Hello, and welcome to Cindy's Corner. It's so good to see you out there. And have you ever ran for office? Have you ever, not the office where people work, but ran for an office, or maybe like president or mayor or governor? Have you ever ran for maybe a class president? Okay, our story today is about a mayor, and things just weren't going too good for people. So let's see what the catch is here. If you've got the book, LaRue for Mayor, go get it so that you can follow along. See if it's what you were thinking about. LaRue for Mayor, letters from the campaign trail. My AR testers, this is a 5-1 level. Big level, but my little ones, you can understand. LaRue for Mayor, written and illustrated, so the author and illustrator is Mark Teague. The Snort City Register Gazette. This is the newspaper of what it's called, the Snort City Register. It's the newspaper. And do you know what a newspaper is? Have any of you ever read a newspaper? We're going to talk about that. You're going to get to share that with me. All right. It says September the 30th. Buckwort launches campaign for mayor. Former Pumpkinville Police Chief Hugo Buckwort announced yesterday that he will run for mayor of Snort City, calling himself the law and order candidate. Buckwort, who spoke to a cheering crowd in Gruber Park, is widely considered a shoo-in for the job. Snort City is a disgrace, he said to polite applause. We need to be more like Pumpkinville. That means no more sloppiness, no more silliness, and no more foolish behavior. The speech was interrupted when several dogs in the back of the crowd overturned a hot dog cart. Injured in the fracas was Gertrude LaRue of 2nd Avenue. The dogs were not identified. Dogs disrupt rally. Dear Mrs. LaRue, how sorry I am to hear about your injuries. Who knew that the hot dog carts were so unstable? I was simply trying to get a better view of Chief Buckwort when it collapsed. Heaven knows what those other dogs were doing. I must admit that they created an unfortunate impression of delinquency. Anyway, I'm shocked to hear that you'll be confined to the hospital for so long. No doubt you are worried about me. So am I. But Mrs. Hibbins has promised to serve my meals, and somehow I will preserve. With deepest sympathy, Ike. Get well. Here we go. Another one from Ike. Happy Chums Social Club. President Ike LaRue. Feisty Paws Club. baseball, fishing derby. Dear Mrs. LaRue, October the 2nd. Thank you for your concern. Yes, this will be a difficult time for me, stuck here all alone while you recuperate in your pleasant hospital bed. But please do not worry. I have become friendly with some of the dogs I met the other day in the park. We have decided to form a social club, which will perform various services to the community. Spending time with Fifi, Buck, and Chewy should help ease the pain of your absence. Plus, think of all think of all the good deeds we will be doing. Fictitiously yours, Ike. Newspaper again. Wild dogs rampage. Game interrupted. Unruly dogs plagued Snort City again yesterday as one of the animals broke up a double play and ran away with the baseball during a Snort City Rabbits game at Morley Field. The episode capped a week of problems that began on Tuesday when a pack of the rambunctious creatures broke up the animal fishing derby on Blatt Lake. Apparently, the dogs first rolled in, then ate the catch. The following day, a group of dogs snuck into Mr. Ding-a-Ling's truck outside Gruber Park and made off with 2 gallons of Rocky Road ice cream. None of the dogs have been apprehended, though ice cream vendor Eugene Phelps described the leader as a scruffy black and white fellow. Who is that? Think that's Ike. Dear Mrs. LaRue, please do not worry about me. I will not starve or die of loneliness, probably. Yes, I read the newspaper accounts regarding dog problems. Frankly, I find them ridiculous. Can this cheer and spirited behavior really be a problem? Where is the harm? And yet, with such lurid reporting, some weak-minded individuals might come to believe that dogs represent a menace to our community. Hope you are feeling better, Ike. Ike's eating the ice cream, isn't he? Guilty, huh? So here we go. Newspaper again. October the 8th. Buckwart calls for canine crackdown. What's a canine? A dog. Yes. Calling dogs a menace to our community. Mayoral candidate Hugo Buckwart yesterday announced his plans to crack down on the beast. We can no longer tolerate this sort of behavior, he said, citing recent dog-related problems. Mr. Buckwart proposed not only a leash law and a curfew, but a complete ban on the animals in most public places. This town is literally going to the dogs, said Buckwart. I intend to stop it. In related news, a dog reportedly snuck into Brandmeier's butcher shop on 2nd Avenue and made off with a string of beef sausages. Looks like Ike, doesn't it? Dear Mrs. LaRue, I must say I have become alarmed by the ravings of this man, Buckwort. Imagine if he actually were elected to our city's highest office. The idea is unthinkable. I must figure out some way to stop this impending disaster. Your worried dog, Ike. Newspaper again, October 10th. Letters to the editor. As a longtime resident, I must decry the wave of anti-dog hysteria sweeping over our city. Can we so quickly forget the loyalty of man's best friend, who accompanies our firefighters and police on their perilous rounds, who rescues the weary traveler stuck high in the Alps, who serves the blind and the deaf too, most likely. Dogs, that's who. Signed, a concerned citizen. Who do you think that concerned citizen is? Ike? Maybe. Probably. Dear Mrs. LaRue, it's October the 11th. Ike. How I envy you the safety of your hospital bed. Here, in the outside world, things have become perilous. Indeed, at least for dogs. The awful Buckwort continues his scurrilous attacks. Yesterday, he referred to dogs as gangs of hooligans. He must be stopped. Therefore, I have decided to throw my hat into the ring. This afternoon, I will announce my candidacy. Doubtless, the public response will be overwhelming. Your next mayor, Ike. Are you for Ike? Can Ike really be the mayor? Dear Mrs. LaRue, the first day on the campaign trail was fabulous. Everywhere, huge crowds turned out to cheer my message of dog friendliness. My chums from the social club have agreed to help. Of course, we will do our best to keep this campaign positive. Though I can't speak for my opponent who appears to be vicious and unstable, if not insane. Honestly yours, Ike. Sniff, Buckwort. For a strong odor. Sound fun, doesn't it? October the 13th, dear Mrs. LaRue. In my appearances, I have been pointing out that if dogs are banned from places like Gruber Park, cats will run wild. Not a pleasant thought. The campaign continues to gather steam. I think we have Buckwort on the ropes. Politically yours, Ike. P.S. I hope you don't mind, but I have been using the apartment as the campaign headquarters. Got all the dogs in there, doesn't he? October the 14th, the Register of the Gazette newspaper. Buckwort challenged by mystery candidate. A mysterious new candidate has emerged to challenge Hugo Buckwort in his run for the mayor. Supporters of Ike LaRue describe him as a dog-friendly. Opponents point out that he, in fact, a dog. He is, in fact, a dog. Either way, the furry LaRue has begun to wage a fierce campaign against Buckwort, who promises to virtually banned all dogs from Snort City. Surprisingly, LaRue's message had begun to catch on. "We didn't anticipate this," admits Buckwart, campaign manager Walt Smiley, referring to the dogs. "It turns out some folks are really fond of the little devils." "I'm not worried," said Buckwart. "Tomorrow is my big rally in Gruber Park. I'll deal with these dog lovers then." Dear Mrs. LaRue, my supporters and I have decided to confront Chief Buckwart at today's rally. We will be out in force, and though we will conduct ourselves in a dignified manner, I am sure that the results will be interesting. Hope you are all well. Ike. Nothing will distract me from this important cause. Top secret. Underdog. Is he the underdog, Ike? We'll see. Newspaper again next day. LaRue rescues Buckwart. Dog called hero. Hugo Buckwart was rushed to a memorial hospital yesterday after collapsing on stage during a rally in Gruber Park. Apparently, he grew dizzy while trying to shout down hecklers. Among his rescuers was his opponent, local dog Ike LaRue. When the chief collapsed, we rushed him to the nearest vehicle. A Mr. Ding-a-ling truck, explained campaign head manager Walt Smiley. For some reason, the dog was already inside, but give him credit, he really did his best to help. LaRue saved me, said Buckwart. All the way to the hospital, he fed me cool, delicious Rocky Road ice cream. By the time I got here, I was feeling much better. The rescue puts a new twist on an already unusual campaign. I have completely changed my mind about dogs, said Mr. Buckwart. In fact, I would be honored if Ike would serve with me as assistant mayor to make sure that the interests of dogs are represented in the Buckwart administration. LaRue, who departed in the Mr. Ding-a-ling truck, could not be reached for comment. Here he is helping. Dear Mr. LaRue, Mrs. LaRue, it turns out that Chief Buckwart is not such a bad fellow after all. In fact, he's swell. Anyways, politics aren't for me. I would rather make friends than engage in this constant bickering. And since all I ever wanted was to make this a great city for everyone, I have decided to wrap up my campaign and accept the chief's offer to serve as assistant mayor. I'm so glad that you are feeling better and will be able to attend my swearing-in ceremony. Your loyal dog, Ike. Buckwart sworn in. LaRue joins former adversary. Promising to have the most dog-friendly administration ever. New Mayor Hugo Buckwart was sworn in yesterday during a ceremony in Gruber Park. At his side was Assistant Mayor Ike LaRue, whom many credit with his success. This is a great day for everyone in Snort City, proclaimed Buckwart, to loud cheers from the audience. The speech was interrupted with several dogs in the back of the crowd overturned a hot dog cart. Buckwort promised to look into the matter. It certainly is worrisome, he said, going to the dogs, dog by his side. Who knew those carts were so unstable? Did the dogs cause it to be unstable, or were they already unstable? Have you ever seen a dog run for mayor or for a political office? How have dogs helped in your community? Tell me in the comments, where do you love dogs? Where do you see dogs? Should they be banned? That means not allowed. I can't wait to see what you tell me about your dog running for mayor. Could we understand it? I hope you enjoyed this and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget that thumbs up and subscribe button. Hit that subscribe. It's free for now. And so you can share me with your friends so they don't miss Storytime with Cindy. Give somebody a hug and tell them you love them. Have a great day.